right, Homesteader family, welcome back to the journey. Welcome back to this edition of the Sunday Monday vlog. It was a cold, windy day today. Um, Sold 2 snowballs today. So snowball business is not quite kicking off yet. Is not quite warm enough. We keep getting back up into the 80s. Then we come back down to like today. It was 65, 66, but with high winds. We had a rainstorm the other day for a couple hours. It's just off and on weather patterns. So nothing spectacular weather-wise. This is a quick and easy episode of the Sunday Monday vlog due to the fact that I don't have much going on. So with the snowball stand being open, I'm over here. I do wake up early, go over to Homestead. I do a little bit work. I got the gate installed at today's Homesteader Lane over at the Homestead. Concrete a couple more posts. They've got to set up until Wednesday. Then Wednesday I can go over, build the H braces, get all that set up, and go forward from there. And that's pretty much all I've done. I've done that and picked up some sticks and cut down some saplings and stuff like that along today's Homesteader Lane. I'll do a video this week at the homestead, both a little bit of what I've done, and I'll also do a short video with the animals, due to the fact that with the weather and everything that's been going on, I've decided I'm going to shut down tomorrow because I've got a meeting with a lawyer down in Clinton, Arkansas to deal with the situation that I said I'll talk to you guys later on about. So I've got to take a bunch of paperwork, go meet with the lawyer. After I do that, then I'm going to be closed tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm closing down Snowball Stand because there's just not a lot of business. Most days I'm only averaging $24 to $26. So it's just not worth running all the lights, the ice machine, the freezers, everything going on for that, because I'm spending that plus some in electricity and water just going down drain, because the ice cubes drop, they melt, go down the drain, next ice cubes get made, and it's just a waste of water, electricity. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be doing stuff at the homestead. I'm going to take the dogs over. I'm going to take all 4 of the dogs over one of the days. I'm not sure what day yet, and let them all run a little bit. We are going to have back into the 80s, I think, by Wednesday. And then we're going to drop down in 60s from Friday on for like another week. So snowball stand's not going to do good once again for another whole week. But it is what it is. So I'm open. You know, some of the locals here that like the snowballs, that are coming back. Just like today, I had 2 locals here today get their weekly snowballs. And so it's not helping me a lot, but it's giving them something to enjoy. So I've got a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news. Bad news, the pumpkin spice coffee that I got that I talked to you guys about last week, I'm down to 6 pods left over in that box. So I'm almost out of my pumpkin spice coffee mix. So not too happy about that because I got so excited having pumpkin spice again. Now I got to wait till fall again. That's the bad news. The good news is I got my refund back from Tractor Supply. There was some mix-up stuff with the shipping and all that on my card. So I got that back. I was able to pay off the credit cards. So the credit cards are paid off, the 2 that I maintained. All the other credit cards that went through JG Wentworth, the debt consolidation, for those of you that haven't been paying attention, I did a debt consolidation over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, something like that, and trying to get back on top of everything and dig myself out of this deep hole. So the 2 credit cards that didn't go to JG Wentworth was a $5,000 one and a $1,500 one. And with the refund and everything from Tractor Supply, I just got them completely paid off. So no more paying interest on those credit cards, which between my feed bill, that was $1,600 for the grain, my hay bill, I pay cash. That's like $800 a month. My feed bill this month was $1,600. Feed is going up. Of course, gas, diesel, everything's going up. So everything else is going up. That happens to all of us. Your lucky pumpkin spice was gone before Valentine's Day. And, you know, I go through it so quick. I'm going to have to invest in a in Pete's Pumpkin Spice and just buy the company so I can have it delivered year round to me. Um, but I finally got out of those two credit cards, so they're paid off. And what I have left over after my $1,600 feed bill, my cell phone, internet, all the things that come out on my credit cards, I'll have $700 where April 1st, when I get my check, I'll be able to pay all that off. So I'm going to go ahead sometime this upcoming week, probably Tuesday. I told Steve I wasn't going to Harrison. I was cutting back on Harrison. And I haven't gone. We went last week. And I told him I was cutting back on going Harrison. And I haven't been to Harrison since, so I've been doing good. But I do have to go to Clinton tomorrow to meet with a lawyer. And then I think Tuesday I will take my very first trip to Harrison since the last time we went. And it's a good reason. I'm going to go spend $700 at Tractor Supply. I'm going to get probably about $500 Tractor Supply, $200 at Home Depot. So $500 will go to the treated post and for making H braces for the fencing, and then $200 to buy concrete at Home Depot, the 60-pound bag, so I can go ahead and get the post concreted. Office visits are mandatory. What office visits, Robert? Office visits are mandatory. You got me confused on that one. I don't know. But anyhow, I'm going to go spend the $700 on credit cards because I know I can pay them off on the first of the month. I can't go over the $700. That's leaving me another $250 because I actually have $950, but I'm leaving $250 for gas from now because my tank's almost empty again until the 1st. However, depending on what the lawyer says and depending on what I might have to pay the lawyer when you have to go see the lawyer doctor. Okay, yep, you got that right. They are mandatory when you got to. The only thing that might stop me from getting the post and the concrete this week is if I have to pay the lawyer right now, as in tomorrow when I go and meet with him. If I have to put money down on that, then hopefully it's within that $950, or I won't have credit cards paid off next month. But if I don't have to pay the lawyer right away, then the money will go to that. And then Wednesday and Thursday, since I'm closed here at the snowball stand, and Friday until noon, that will give me time to get more posts put in. Because what I'm going to do now is, since the credit cards are paid off, I'll have roughly $900 a month to go towards projects. So every month here on out, I'm going to do $900 into fencing or $900 into whatever. I'll need tires in another month or so. So that's like $1,000. So I won't be buying fencing that month. I was thinking about next month doing that, but I'm going to push that off one more month because I think I can get another month out of my tires. And I'm going to start doing fencing projects. The reason I'm doing that is because spring, not this year, next year's spring is right around the corner. And I'm hoping to have the pen done by December, January, February time period. And this is going to be a huge pen. And it's not just building this pen. The pen that I'm going to be working on now is going to be the pen that the barn is going to be in, that I'm going to build the barn eventually. And I'm going to have a gate to the following pen and a gate to, or no, yeah. So the pen that I'm building, I'm going to have fencing and a gate outside of the barn. So that way, when I rotate them between the 3 pens. So I'm doing 3 pens with the barn in the center. So I can open this gate for this pen, this gate for this pen, and this gate for this pen. And the animals, no matter what pen that they have access to, they have access to the barn. That's where I'm going to feed. That's where I'm going to have the water. And then all the pens will have ponds and stuff like that in it. So I want to make it's going to be awesome once it's all done, Robert. It's going to be paint. And so I don't think I talked about it on the last Sunday Monday vlog, but I had talked from the beginning I was going to do like 12 pens across the whole homestead so they can be in a new pen every month. That way they're in one pen for 30 days. Well, with all that fencing coming up to around $420,000, it's just unrealistic. I'll never have that money, or it's going to take 20, 30 years to finally get that done. Then I'm doing the rent to own contract for the 30 acres on the Homesteading family. So they keep paying, they have that 30 acres. So that reduces me down to 90. And then Steve's back there on his shed property for now, which is like just over 5 acres. So I'm down to like 85 acres. So right there, that's saving me a lot of fencing that I don't have to fence the 30 acres. I still have to fence the whole side and the whole back of the 30 acres to divide the two properties. And then Steve's going to do his fencing on his 2 lines, but I don't have to fence line the railroad tracks behind him and the fence line on the side of him. So that saves me some fencing there. And because of the water on the back of the homestead now, where I did all that work the last couple years at the cliffs, because I wanted the barn down at the cliffs. So during the summer, it was cooler for the animals. And then the animals wouldn't be able to be back there during winter because it'd be really cold. So I kind of flip-flopped on doing that. And because now with the water back there, I'm going to do like a big pond swimming pool type thing. I'm thinking about buying a pond liner in the future, not nowhere soon, but doing a pond liner so I can swim in it. It's not clay, and Steve can swim in it. And now we've talked, me and Steve, about doing a little pavilion back there. We're going to do the horseshoe pits back there. Across the creek, Steve's going to clear out that corner, and I'm going to buy fruit trees next spring, and he's going to put the orchard in, and we're going to have a barbecue pit, lounge chairs, and then the swimming hole. So that's going to save another section. I don't have to fence or do anything with the animals. So for those of you that have been following, my driveway going up the mountain, right across from there, if you see in the video, Steve's driveway's almost directly across from mine, catty corner a little bit. So from my driveway going up to today's Homesteader Lane, which I'll show you guys a video sometime this week. I'll film this and make a short video, show you my idea of what I'm looking at. But it's going to go from my driveway to today's Homesteader Lane, up today's Homesteader Lane to the front of my property, over to James and Katrina's property. That's going to be a total separate pen. The reason I'm doing that 4th pen, and this will be 4, not 3. The 3 will be for the main animals. The 4th pen is going to be separate. So the 4th pen will have its own barn. And what I'm thinking, because my favorite animals are the peacocks, the emus, and the camels, I'm going to put the camels and the emus inside of that big pen. And that's, the fence is going to go all the way up to my house. So like I said, I can do live stream, have video at my house, looking off the front porch, and the fence will come right up along the patio or whatever I do up at my house site. So you see camels come up, emus come up, and then I'm going to build a bird aviary up at the house site on top of the mountain, and that's going to be my peacocks. And I'm going to do a big, massive bird aviary. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to construct it yet, if I'm going to use all metal fencing, if I'm going to do some type of netting. I'm not sure, but I want to do a big bird area, and then I want to get more peacocks. And I'm also thinking about getting some, the like pharaoh, I can't think what they are, the golden pharaohs or something like that. I just can't think of the type of bird, but they've got like gold helmets with red bodies, really beautiful birds. I can't think of what they are right now, but I'm thinking about doing some exotic birds there, just so I have something right at the house I can watch. And then I am still thinking about eventually getting some like parrots or macaws or something like that for inside the house. But that 4th pen will be the camels, the emus, so they'll be stationary there. It's going to be a massive, massive pen. So for the 2 camels, they'll have more than enough forage. They won't tear up the land. And then the other 3 pens will be the all the other animals, the goats, the horses, the donkeys, the zebu cattle, all that type of stuff. And then I'll have a separate pen somewhere in there for the pigs around the barn for the 3 pens, so I can feed the pigs when I feed the other animals. Another reason why I want the emus up separate from rest of the animals is so in my house, I plan to have the cabinet incubator again, or I plan to do another little offshoot pen for the emus when they go into breeding. So that way, when they hatch out babies, if we have cold weather come up like this year where I lost the babies, then I can go ahead, bring them right to the house, take care of the babies inside the house. I don't have to worry about losing the babies. If I decide not to have the emus take care of the babies, then I can hatch out the babies in the house, let them stay in the house for a few weeks till they're good and strong, and then put them out with the other emus and then let them bond to the emus. And then I'll have the bigger emus take care of them and raise them from there. But that's what my plan is now, is doing the 3 major pens and the barn there, and then the camels and emus in a separate pen. So I'll show all that later this week. But the first good news was my credit cards got paid off. I'm going to be able to start doing pens and start working on this next pen. The second good thing is I was looking at my JG Wentworth settlement, the debt settlement program I'm in, and not this Christmas, but next Christmas is the end. So that'd be 3.5 years, not this Christmas, but next Christmas. And then I'm totally out of debt on all that. Then I only have the debt of my mortgages and paying off all my mortgages. So that's going to take 20, 30 years, because that's what they all are, is 20, well, I got 15-year, 30-year and stuff like that. So the mortgages I'm not too worried about. That's, that'd be a payment for the rest of my life, just like everybody else has a mortgage payment most of the time. But I'll finally be out of credit card debt, not this Christmas, next Christmas. So slowly but surely, I'm working on it. I'm not paying interest now on these 2 credit cards. JG Wentworth, I don't pay interest. I just pay them $336 a month. So in another 1.5 years, I won't have $336 a month going out. So at that point, I'll have the $900 a month plus the $336. So just over $1,200 a month to go into projects from there on out. And then I'll have 4.5 years until I get my money from Colorado. And then I'll have the money to build the house, do all the other projects, and really get cranking. So this year, rest of this year, I know my goals and everything keep changing, but everybody knows this is a journey. This journey has the trails that go this way and the winds and the twists and the turns and everything else. But for here on out, I'm going to take every monthly extra amount of money I have that doesn't go if my truck breaks down or I need tires or things like that, because I just had to have all my spark plugs and all that done to my truck. So that was $450 I wasn't expecting to spend. So that went on credit cards. But I'm going to, here on out, put all the money I can into fencing, try to get the pen done. If I can get the pen done and I can get the animals in it next spring, I have all the seeds spread this year. The grass is growing. It is looking good. I mean, let's see. I think I got my lights somewhere over here. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. It's in there. I'll show you outside here at the restaurant, because I spread some of the seed on the ground here. And this will give you an idea of what the homestead looks like. I'll show you guys a little bit tomorrow when I get over there. It's not as thick as here, but it's starting to come up. And with it growing rest of this year, then it should be good to really get established for the animals. But you can see the different grass coming up. This is all seeded because the dogs took it down to dirt. And you can see like all that's nice and thick. I've got to really mow again. And then back here, the grass has come in a lot better. You can see all the dirt and now what the grass is. So that's another thing I have to do this week, is mow the lawn yet again. But with the grass seed in over at the homestead, I went over yesterday and finished. I've got half a bag left of the Kentucky 32, which now people here have told me that Kentucky 32 doesn't survive here, but it is sprouting. And the perennial ryegrass that I seeded is also sprouted. I'm hoping that they both take hold. I'm hoping they both grow in well over this whole year. And then when I get the animals pen done this winter into spring next year, I'll get them moved over and they have grass and everything already established, ready to eat, along with all the trees and all that type of stuff. I'll let them eat that down. Then I'll go in, I'll thin out all the small stuff and the stuff they kill, and then seed it again. And then next year, along with the fruit trees that I'll buy for the orchard, I'll buy a bunch of bags of seed again. And for those of you, I've had people asking, I'm doing perennial ryegrass. I'm doing Kentucky 32. I'm doing annual ryegrass. I'm doing ladino white clover, daikon radish, and purple top turnips. The only two things I didn't see this year so far is the purple top turnips and daikon radish, and that's because I didn't want to spend the money on that or deal with that. I do have some purple top turnip left over in my shed, and I still have another half a 50-pound bag of the ladino clover, so I do have to see more of that. I'm just waiting for the temperature to come up, because for clover seed, for whatever reason, if it's not super warm or stays super warm, the clover doesn't tend to take hold. Because I've tried seeding it the last couple years while it's cooler, and it seems to do better when you seed it when it's warmer. So I'm waiting a few more weeks until I finish seeding the clover, because none of the clovers come up yet. But when I did some clover last summer, or not last summer, last May or whenever it was, it started popping up along with all the purple top turnips that I showed you guys that grew really well out here. So I'm going to do that mixture again. So hopefully the animals will be in the pen next year, in the new pen, and then I'll see the pen they've been in the last 2.5, 3 years, let that established, and then I'll be working next year doing the next pen. So little by little, I'm getting there. It's all about getting out of debt. It's all about having the money to do it. I could just rack up my credit cards, put another $6,500 on credit cards, and get a bunch of fencing, but I'm trying not to pay that interest rate. So like I said, I'll still be in debt no matter what after credit cards, because I got the mortgages. If the rental house would sell, then that gave me a little bit of cash to do more stuff. But I'm hoping with the snowball business by October-ish into maybe November-ish, I'm hoping to have the money from snowball stand when I close the snowball stand down for good, to rent the excavator. Then I'll put the ponds in. I'll dig the hole in the back to put the culvert in, to try to do the well back there and fix the roads and do all that type of stuff. Build the road up to the house site, get the house site cleared out a little bit, and then eventually save up money to rent a dozer, doze the road, doze the house site flat, and then I can start building the house. The house, I'm hoping to start sometime next year, probably next fall. I'm not 100% sure, not this fall coming up, but the following fall, because the panels are like $60 a piece. So if I take a couple months of $900 a month and buy a bunch of panels, I can start constructing. And because it's going to be the Gabion baskets idea that I haven't completely showed everybody yet, I'll be able to start little by little and work project by project, because it's not like pouring concrete. You have to do it all at once or anything like that. So that's been my week. Not much being accomplished this week. I'll have a bunch accomplished, because I'll get fence posts put in, concrete it, ready to start doing some fencing. And then we'll find out how everything goes with the lawyer, depending on how that goes, and then how the situation unfolds on that. Then I'll be letting you guys know how that turned out and what this was all even about. I know a couple of you guys know about it. I'm just not putting it out there publicly until I know, the basis and everything's taken care of. Just like police don't talk about investigations, why everything's under investigations, because you don't want nothing messing it up. Same thing with legal action. You don't want anything messing up legal action until it's taken care of. So that's why I'm not discussing it with the world right now, just a couple people that I know personally. So I hope everybody's having a great week. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope the weather's getting better. I know Colorado was 80 some degrees and then they just got snow again. And we were 80 degrees and the grass is still growing and I got to mow lawns. So, yep, Arkansas is definitely better than Colorado, not dealing with snow anymore. The animals are out. Steve's loving Arkansas. He's being lazy, not doing much on the homestead, but it is what it is. We all got to take some downtime and relax and do things, but eventually we all got to get back at it. So with that, I hope everybody has a good upcoming week, and I'll see you on a couple videos at the homestead later this week. So with that, remember, live happy, live free. That's the only way to be, and I'll talk to you guys later.